In shamanism, there is this concept of being able to connect with your primary power animal, different kind of spirit animals, and of course also a totem animal, which serves more of a group consciousness collective. But now let's further and deeper explore this concept of connecting deeper with your power animal. Now, quite recently I have created a new kind of soul tribe for men, which I have called the Wolf Pack, and that is not without a reason, because the essence of the wolf, or the spirit animal, the power animal of a wolf, really represents a much deeper meaning. So what exactly does that mean? A couple of years ago, when I was going through lots of my shamanic healing workshops, we had the opportunity to connect with the power animal. And through my deep shamanic journey or meditation or visualization, I suddenly started to see the images of the wolf. Now that really, of course, got me really interested and curious about this whole thing. And that's why I've continued to explore this further. Because both in shamanism, but also in Germanic, Norse, Celtic mythology and spirituality, there's also a lot of symbols that really represent the essence of the wolf. So what do we need to know about the wolf, or the spirit animal, or the power animal of the wolf? The wolf itself is an animal that has lots of intelligence, has a high level of instinct and intuition. It can be, of course, sometimes work and function as the lone wolf, that sometimes we as humans like to refer to, like we have a strong need and desire for our independence, freedom and sovereignty in the world. We do not like to follow the path that has created by someone else for us and be constrained with that. And also the wolf, it is really, and it must be really stay connected to his own spiritual path and journey in life, which is absolutely a necessity to stay true to his own autonomy and authenticity. But because of his intellectual intelligence and strong level of instinct intuition, it also really likes to tend to climb his own mountain and stay on top of his mountain, howling basically, and looking down at everything and everyone else who is kind of like struggling in the world in this valley. But then he also must realize that the wolf, it actually functions best when it's running with a pack. Because also the wolf is very, very social and empathetic. And it does well when it's working with like minds. People who also have a strong level of empathy, instincts, intuition and intelligence. And who's also really like dedicated to their own spiritual path and searching for knowledge and independence in the world. So that's why it must be come together and working together with, of course, with other like minds thriving for independence. Because when the lone wolf stands too long at the top of his mountain, of course he can start to struggle and face other type of challenges, like what a lot of intellectual people have. Being intellectual does not always lead to happiness. The happiness comes from sharing, of course, with like minds. And this is kind of the challenge that we might be facing when we're standing too long on top of this mountain within our own dependence, because we can relate to lots of other people, but a lot of people, they can't really relate to our higher level of intelligence and instincts. And then it becomes like the lone wolf can indeed feel lonely and isolated sometimes. Although he can find lots of strength within, that is of course the other type of duality. Now when we also look in Germanic Norse mythology, the wolf, if you think about the Norse god of Odin, I've got here like the symbol on this bracelet, which is almost like a bit of an oath ring. And you basically can see the symbol of Odin, the symbol of the Valknuts. And of course that is also like the search for knowledge and wisdom, and of course like the various runes on this oath ring as well, which is my dedication to the path of knowledge, wisdom, shamanism and such. Now, when we look to the Norse god of Odin, this archetype, he also has like two wolves, Gary and Freki. Gary is the greedy one. The greedy one, of course, must be hunger for wisdom and ambition. So that is also, of course, like also is part of the warrior archetype as well. The warrior, he must be hungry and have a strong desire to get out in the world to get things done. Then we also have like the Freki, which is the rageous one. That is the symbol of aggression. Aggression is needed, especially of course within the masculine kind of energy. Aggression is of course not like a part of violence or hurting others. I mean, although when threat is facing our life, of course we must be able to defend ourselves and use aggression to stand for ourselves. But aggression is of course also needed to go and get out in the world to get what we want, our freedom, independence. So that's another symbol what it represents. Now in Norse mythology, of course, we also have the offspring from Loki, which was the wolf Fenrir. The Fenrir became a massive giant wolf that really kind of like covered the major shadow. And that was also referred to the time of Ragnarok. Ragnarok is like the end times and new beginnings. So the wolf also represents death and rebirth, constant new beginnings, transforming kind of like phases and cycles. So that's also kind of really what it represents. Now, of course, the wolf is also howling towards the full moon. So the energy of the full moon is of course also really affecting us within death and rebirth. Now, take things further. When we look to the warrior kind of archetype within Norse and Germanic mythology and history, we also see of course the fierce Viking warriors, the berserkers, which was a special elite within the warrior tribes. And they had like shamanic journeys, initiations, going into trance states to shape shift themselves and to bring in the energy of the spirit of either the wolf or the bear, because they needed to pull out this primal force energy that exists within us, the aggression, okay, and the greedy one, in order to go and get out on the battlefield and wipe out the enemy, of course. We don't really live, of course, in times of battlefields unless you're part of the military. But now this can be really used, of course, within our fitness, for example, our business, going after our freedom, independence, and all of that. And then when it comes towards relationships, which is also an important aspect, I mean, once again, the wolf, he's also very loyal, okay? Now, for example, as a man, you can be either rich and wealthy, so you can provide security. You can either be very attractive in terms of your looks department, intelligence, emotional intelligence, charisma and personality and all of that. Or you can provide lots of loyalty. Now as a man, we will never really be able to provide all three of them. It's either one of them. You can be rich and attractive, but rich and attractive men obviously have lots more options in the dating space, so they will not always be loyal. But if you're not rich, but you're attractive in terms of spiritual knowledge, emotional intelligence, personality and character, you might also be very loyal. So that of course can attract different kind of relationships towards you. For example, women who are more after the safety of a man, like a man can provide safety towards the woman. And other women are more, of course, like more attracted towards intellectual knowledge or emotional stability of a man, emotional maturity, which can also become part of the essence of the wolf. Also, it can refer to some attributes of part of the alpha male and the sigma male as well. I mean, the alpha, he's more after external validation through wealth, status, and climbing the social hierarchy. Of course, it's like really going after things that makes part of his identity. And the sigma males, he's really much more into carving his own path in life of independence and deeper need for independence, who is less needy of external validations of the alpha male, but the sigma is more of developing the intellect and really living his life on his own. He's part of the lone wolf, but he can also run, of course, with a pack of only a select few. So there must be other wolves as well. So that's why I've created the wolf pack, the soul tribe for man, which we further discuss this masculine archetype as well, where we bring the essence more, or when we bring in more the essence of the wolf in order to conquer life challenges in terms of our health, wellness, self-improvement, spirituality, developing emotional maturity, personality, character, but of course also going after our freedom and independence in the world. So if this is you, then of course you can go to Germanic Wellness and just follow the link, join the wolf pack. Alright, look forward to see you in one of my next videos. And if you want, of course, a shamanic journey that connects more with the spirit animal of the wolf, or of course, if you want to explore more spirit animals, please let me know. Simply drop a comment below, and I look forward to see you on one of my next videos. Take care for now.